Or, like, while I start? Okay. I've never gone live on this account, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Basically, I don't know like how many people are gonna join, but I was gonna talk about things and like I'll get the backlash for it, but I just feel like things needs to be addressed and I'd rather it come from me to defend my family than like anybody else just because I feel like it's important.
Okay, let me stop you, girl. Hey, y'all, it's me, the Note, and we're getting this of Weslie Renae Fowler, aka Twitch's daughter. And we have been talking about her. I have a couple of videos prior to this. And this is Twitch, Stephen Twitch Boss, the phenomenal dancer and personality that we knew from TV. So You Think You Can Dance, The Ellen Show, who is reportedly said to have taken his life in December of 2022. And there are a lot of sketchy details around that, of course. We talked about this. But his widow, Allison Holker, has a book coming out, and she has been using his name to promote this book and putting things out about him that we didn't know and that he probably didn't want us to know, even if they're even true, because his family is saying these things aren't true. But I wanted to repost his stepdaughter Weslie's, this is Weslie, video from her Instagram, which is defending her mother, Allison, because of all the backlash she's been getting. I kind of rushed to post the clips that I saw yesterday on the blogs, but it wasn't the full interview. So I want to just play the full interview. And then when I'm finished playing the full interview, I'm going to share something that Twitch's brother posted that says some things about Allison child that could or could not be true, but I think they need to be said. Since she wants to put his business out there, then her business should be put out there as well. Now, before I play this full video real quick, I just want to show y'all, because this is going to come up, about her hair. Now, I got a lot of heat about saying that her curls were forced. I didn't say fake. When I say forced, that means perm or rollers, or it just means that it's not natural. So I got a lot of heat for saying that in someone else's chat. And I don't see the problem because it actually came up in this video about her curls. So I want to show you guys a couple of pictures of her when she was young, and then I'll play her video, okay? But yeah, let's show a couple of pictures of them together. That's her with Twitch and her mother, Allison, when she was younger, okay? This is her putting makeup on her mom when she was young. This is her as a child. This is her as a child with Allison in her dark hair, probably her natural brunette hair. This is her as a child, cute kid. And I'm only pointing out the fact that her hair is not naturally curly. Okay? This is her as a child. And as you can see, Twitch has been in her life for a very long time. He basically raised her. From what I understand, Allison and Weslie's father broke up when she was 2, and he was not in the picture. She was raising him as a single mother, raising her, as a single mother. So in promoting her book, she's saying things that, in People magazine, and you can look at my previous videos for more on that stuff. But yeah, let's look at Weslie's full video, and then I'm going to come back and share a message to Allison from someone who says he was Twitch's brother and new insight on their relationship. Let's go.
But like my stepdad's been gone for 2 years and I'm still getting hate comments and a lot of articles are coming out and I just don't like not I it's just complicated and for no reason because this is not just a social media gig, like this is literally my life. And I don't know, I'm so sick of getting hate comments and like seeing my mom get hate for literally losing the person that she loves. And like, I have siblings, like this is their dad, this is who they're gonna grow up, and like they're gonna see all this on social media. That's so hurtful. So I just felt like I'll take it upon myself to like clear things up, because that's just how I am. Like, I would rather things be handled than for it to just like leave the internet in a spiral. Like, it's so annoying to me. But basically, I get that my relationship with Steven seems complicated, but this man raised me my entire life. Like, my entire life since I was one. And through that, like, I have a biological dad. I have a relationship with him, but Steven was my person. Steven was the person that like raised me. And when I address him as Steven, I know that like y'all know him as Twitch, but like that was my dad. Like, I'm not gonna address him by his stage name. But he literally raised me. And I don't like, it's hurtful to see people like not diminish who he was, but like there's so many new stories, and it's like through all the family stuff and just like it's just so much more complicated. And I don't even know how to explain it well, and I hope that I'm like gonna perfectly. But it's like, this is my dad, this is not like a joke to me. And like for 13 years my parents were together, and years he was the person I would go to every like about everything. Like, he's the person I would cry to. He's the person like he'd wake me up every morning, we'd get breakfast. He's the person that I would see when he came home from work. Like, we lived in the same four walls. Like, and now I'm getting hate for him leaving, and I don't get it. Like, it's hurtful. And I guess I'm like trying to describe our relationship, because I see people saying that like it's not my place because I'm not his biological daughter, but like he never made me feel like anything besides his daughter. And I mean, that I just think it speaks for who he was. And nobody's sitting up here trying to bash him. Like, he was a good person. And also, recently I've been getting a lot of comments about how I changed my Instagram username. And I never had access to my social media. He was a pretty strict parent, but like a couple months before like I started getting access to it. But I was never adopted. I never had the last name Boss, and I know my siblings do, but I don't. And my last name, my legal last name, isn't even what I like is my handle. It's just my middle name, because I don't go by Boss or my last name. So, and I never have, but that was just like, we were addressed as the Boss family. Like, that's what it was. And that, like, I had that Instagram handle since I was a child, like a toddler, and that's just not me. And so, yeah, I can get the hate for changing it, but like, for instance, like my mom never had hers as Boss. My mom's always been addressed as Allison Holker. Besides when they were like together, it'd be like the Mr. and Mrs. Boss. But they had completely separate like careers, and they were addressed completely like separately. But yeah, when we were all together, like I had siblings, we were the Boss family. Like, that's the name that my siblings are gonna have, and that's what they're gonna carry on. But even Steven's family, like his parents, they don't have the last name Boss. But basically, I don't know, I'm trying to like get all my ideas together about what's like appropriate to say and like what's not going to get me in trouble, because like I'm just trying to address things, but like I'm still trying to be respectful to everybody. And I'm just so over, like, for instance, his family. Like, everyone's headlining right now. Like, and these are big players into my life. This is big players into my siblings' life, but and my mom's life. And literally, like, these are all people that I've grown up with. And to see them now act different for social media, it's like, I don't know. And I'm trying to be respectful, but I just think it's complicated because I speak to Steven's moms. Like, my mom and her were speaking weekly, at some point. And I don't know if it's still like that. Like, me and my mom haven't talked about it, but since Steven died, I feel like I've seen his family more than when he was alive. We would only see them once or twice a year, but you guys have to understand that it's because they live in another state. Like, and things happen. Like, we literally live in another state, and it's not like we're neighbors. It's not like we could just see them whenever we wanted. And now, like, my mom's constantly making the effort so that the kids are a part of, or not the kids are a part of their, wait, I was about to mess up my words. So the kids are a part of their lives. And my mom's the one making that effort. I don't make the effort, but that's just how I am. I feel disrespected by them, so I'm not going to talk to them. Like, there were points where, like, the brothers would reach out to me, like my uncles and Connie, they'd be texting me, but I don't talk to them anymore. I feel completely disrespected. They've gone on social media saying that blood's thicker than whatever, and that's a direct dig at me and my mom. And if you don't see me as Steven's daughter, that's cool. That's, like, take it how you want. That, I know for a fact, that's never how he saw it, and it's literally just hurtful. I've seen Connie, like, I saw Connie for, like, a birthday lunch, and Cameron's seen my siblings a couple times. We've gone brunch with him, and he plays video games with my brother. I know that. I hear them sometimes. But then D, the other brother, they've gone ice cream together. But once again, these are things, like, that I've slowly started to remove myself from because they don't make me feel comfortable. And my mom's the one making the effort and feeling like it's a need and a necessity to see them because she cares. That's, like, I don't know. Everyone's pushing for this narrative that my mom's not trying, or this, like, the kids are being withheld from Steven's family. No. No. Like, I've literally seen them more than when Steven was alive. But when I did see them, when Steven was around, like, it was cool. We were a family, like, but it was like we lived in different states. We saw each other for big events, like birthdays and family reunions, gatherings, like, stuff like that. And it was, but, like, now looking back on it, like, it just seems like, I don't know. Everyone's making things such a bigger deal than it actually is. And I just don't like that the narrative is that my mom's a bad person for things that she's actively trying on, but yet they refuse to speak about it. So, like, what's the point in that? Because I know that they don't see me, but that's my choice. My mom's literally pushing for the kids to be able to see them whenever they can, but you guys lie about it. So, like, I don't get it. Also, with another thing, just going back, I've gotten a lot of hate comments because this is me, just a personal thing, but, like, I don't have a perm. I just, like, I'm sick and tired. Like, I literally, guys, I'm gonna take it as a compliment, but I don't. That's all. But because also, Mom, you can get mad at me, but I need everybody to go and look up when she was on Dancing with the Stars, or not Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, and she had curly hair. Now this girl, she gets Brazilian blowouts, so her hair's straight. Because also, you have to understand, we were born in Utah. Like, they don't know how to take care of curly hair there, right? So over COVID, when I got all my hair cut off, then it started being healthier because it was fried. But I don't want those hate comments. I'm sorry. Like, dog somebody else for it. But please, I'm sick and tired. That, I think that's what most of my comments are, actually. But I'm sick of it. That's it. I'm sick and tired. But I don't know. Like, what else is there to speak about? I'm thinking. Because with the influx of comments that I'm getting, y'all make me mad. Y'all make me so mad. What else? I can talk about the NDAs because that's a big, y'all love to argue over that. Y'all love to argue about the NDAs. Basically, not backstory, because, like, that's what the whole story is, but in one day, we had an open casket, like, viewing for Steven. We had a funeral, and then we had a wake. And my mom asked for NDAs to be signed when we were seeing Stephen's body, because God forbid somebody that went to that took a photo of Stephen and put it on the internet, or shared it with somebody else. That's the type of things that NDAs are for. It's not so you can never talk about Stephen, you can't ever talk about you grieving him, you can't post about it. That's not what it is. And for all the people saying it, I just feel like you're uneducated. I'm sorry, but like, truly, I'm fed up, because NDAs are so important. And if you guys don't agree, that's cool. I'm grateful for my mom making sure that everybody signed NDAs, and she put up that rule. But also, regardless, some people didn't even sign the NDAs, and my mom was lenient because she understands at the end of the day, like, this is family. So y'all want to disrespect her, and she's still nice, she's still kind, she's still forgiving. But you have to know, like, even when Steven was alive, people that attended our events, they would have to sign NDAs. But now, just because it's my mom handing the paper, y'all, like, it's different, and it's just annoying. It's just annoying. Like, for that whole day was supposed to be beautiful, and instead it was less than that. Like, we were gonna say our goodbyes, and instead people were yelling at each other and bashing my mom, and like, that's a day that's taken away from her, and she can't remember it as being the day that we all wanted it to be, because his family was making it otherwise. And like, when I say that this day, like, it's imprinted onto my brain, like, one, because I had to say goodbye to the person that I loved and valued, but then on top of that, I'm having to deal with seeing my mom go through so much. Like, it's a different type of hurt, because these are people that we're supposed to love and value, and yet they're constantly doing things that make me see them as like less. Like, they're the ones impacting that image, but they're also the ones taking onto social media. So I just don't get it, because my mom's been respectful, my mom's kept her P's and Q's, and I'm just not. This is like built up of 2 years worth of stuff, and like, oh my gosh, literally, oh my gosh, I just can't. But with that whole NDA stuff, y'all can see it however you want to, but I just think it's beyond unnecessary, because an NDA is required. It's a necessity, and it's important, because it's just, a day like that is so vulnerable, it's so sentimental, and if you guys can't put yourself in the shoes to be somebody that's responsible for not making sure that something like a photo of Stephen or those emotional conversations don't get leaked, you just have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Like, I just think that's important. And because this is all through a screen, like, I just feel like people aren't doing that. And, it's beyond me. But who knows? What else? I've also got comments, because how do I explain this? Connie and my mom, very cordial. I don't know. I get that she's always gonna side with her sons and stuff, but she's very nice to my mom. My mom is very nice to her. Like I said, they were talking weekly. My mom sends photos of the kids and what we're doing, and I mean, like, it's just so like confusing, because she just like doesn't say when things are lies that are on her page, instead she'll like be hearting things or stuff like that, which is like, okay. But like, a big thing is like people claiming, or I don't know where it started, but I'm constantly getting comments being like, your mom didn't let Connie see the body for 3 weeks and something like that. But it's like, everybody who wanted to see the body had access to that information. My mom didn't want to. My mom, she stayed out of that. My mom didn't want anything to do, because that's a traumatizing thing. And so somebody else had that information to go and see Stephen's body from after he died until he was like, like, they fixed up how he looked and stuff. But until that point, I remember like conversations being had of like Connie asking about it, but then everybody, literally everybody, being like advising against it because that's like, that's your son, you might not want to go see him. But with that all being said, she could have completely on her own terms gone and seen him. My mom wasn't withholding information. That's like, but she's not going to speak out against it. So I don't know. Also, going back to everybody that's like trying to get a headline right now, I guess it's hurtful because y'all were considered Steven's friends, and I'm not trying to be too direct because it's literally a whole conglomerate of people, but I mean, all the posts and stuff and all the like the long captions and whatever, like as his kid, I'm seeing this, like y'all are throwing direct blows at my mom and trying to make it seem like their relationship was something that it's not. But at the same time, like, you can call yourself Steven's friend, I guess. But if you knew Steven and my mom's relationship, like, you think that would be okay with him? I don't know. Like, I don't know. A lot of these people are on their high horse, and I genuinely, like, oh my gosh. Literally, like, this is what you guys don't understand, is my mom is so nice when it comes to the social media stuff. Me personally, I'm on a live. I'm talking about it. Like, I'm so annoyed. And like, you guys can call yourself Steven's friends or say that you were in his life to whatever degree. Me and my mom, like we lived with him. We saw him every day. And a lot of these people speaking out now weren't even around. Barely. I don't even really remember you. I can't put a name to a face, but I know your name. Like, that's the type of separation we had. Like, that's how not around you were. And I don't know. It's just so, like, all these people for what? But it's just, I don't know. Because also, at one point in my life, a lot of these people speaking out, I'd be like, oh, like, that's my uncle, that's my aunt. Now, I don't care. Like, you're weird. Like, I don't speak to any of them anymore. And it's just disappointing, honestly, because for them to be like, oh, one, my mom gets called a murderer. They say that she's money hungry. They say that she needs more fame. My mom doesn't, like, that's not how my mom is. I trust me when I say my mom is good. Like, she doesn't need that. And it's just disappointing because the people that Steven was truly closest to, the people he held in regards to being his best friends, we talk to every week. The holidays just happened. I've seen all the people that I care about and need to see. So if you weren't seen, it's probably because you're, like, in some ways, like, you don't deserve to have us around. And my mom's made her efforts. She's tried for as long as she could. But this is the kind of turning point where it's like, this stops. Like, it's beyond just like trying to maintain a relationship now. It's like, y'all burn bridges. And ugh. Literally, it's okay. What else? I think right now everyone's bashing my mom for also, my mom never said that Steven was an addict. Let me say that. Never said that he was an addict. But if y'all want to take a headline for a news article and turn that into being the thing that you're paying attention to most, that's literally on you, right? But in our house, how he ran things, like, I'm his kid. He was trying to like teach me and educate, like, obviously, like, be that fatherly role, right? So he'd be open and vulnerable about him smoking weed. Also, my mom's not calling him a terrible person for smoking weed. Like, guys, let's get it together. But when you have 2 years after somebody committed suicide to sit here and question every interaction you had, every single thing they did. Obviously, my mom's like, maybe I should have paid more attention to him smoking a lot of weed. Maybe that was a sign. That's not my mom saying that he's a terrible person. And if if they're gonna stop being fans of him over my mom saying that he smoked weed, you aren't a fan. Like, that's all. My mom, like, she's not like, oh my gosh, he's awful, he smoked weed. That's not the narrative. That's not what my mom said. And I don't know. Guys, like, oh my gosh. Like, these were open conversations, but like Steven was so ashamed about how much he smoked weed, where he would go and like smoke weed behind our pool house. Like, but he would talk about it. So it wasn't something that was like a red flag at that time. And even like him going on an ayahuasca, is that how you say it? Ayahuasca? I don't know. But I know that it was a big deal to him because it brought up a lot for him. And I think also another thing that's a big part of Steven's story, and I don't even know if my mom touches on it in her book. Like, I briefly talked to my mom about the book, but I don't know everything, and I haven't read it yet. But a big part of Steven's story that a lot of people don't know is Steven's stepdad committed suicide. And that's something that stayed with him his entire life. He would talk about how much it impacted him. And I think it was hurtful when he left, because now I'm in the same position that he was in. And my mom and Connie alike, they're widows from suicide. And I just think a little bit of love and grace goes a long way. I know my mom says it, but like, that's a big thing. And that's like a childhood trauma that, take it from me, like the person that's in the same situation that Steven was in, it's a big deal. And I have so much empathy for him because of it, but like, I'm realizing how much he went through and how much like it's important to reach out and get your resources and go to therapy. And for years Steven was doing that, and I don't know really like how healed he was in his own journey, but like, that's a big deal. And like, I don't know, suicide's a whole it's unfortunate. Like, it sucks. But I mean, also, I just feel like all of this drama is unnecessary because, frankly, at the end of the day, regardless of what's tit for tat back and forth, we're never going to get Steven back. He made a choice, and that's really unfortunate. And, like, I'm going to think about it for the rest of my life, but he committed suicide. And that's something we're never going to be able to bring him back. And to just not, for people to be so disrespectful after his passing, it's like, how do you maintain like the balance of loving somebody and then also like trying to move forward and like be peaceful? Like, it's like how you guys see everything isn't what it actually is. And while I'm talking about people, actually, there's this one person I really don't like, and his name's Nelson Diaz. But I just want to let everybody know the type of people that are on Steven's family side. Like, Nelson, I know you were getting sued for you were getting sued. It was a lawsuit by Steven. Like, Nelson used to be Steven's and my mom's manager. And like, literally, the lawsuit never ended. You are getting sued. And yet you have such a big mouth on social media, and you're getting out of your lane. Like, you are. And a lot of people are. And to be a kid that's such an observer, who was always around, who literally, like, I looked up to Steven. I was his like little sidekick. I listen to everything. I pay attention to everything. And I get that I am just a kid. Y'all can take that and call me childish or immature in whatever degree you want. But I'm also just like, I've always been around. I pay attention to everything. I have my own opinions about everything. Literally none of this is navigated by my mom. I've always been raised to be like independent. And so when I'm saying that I don't like somebody, I'm saying that I actually don't like you because of the things that you've done to me. So take that as you want. But I don't know. I've lost a lot of respect for people. And I think that, I don't know. I try to be peaceful, but I know at the end of the day I'm not. But what else is there? Like I feel like there's I feel like that's a lot of things that get talked about mostly because I'm not trying to start any fires. I'm not trying to put out more information that there needs to be. But for simply the stuff that keeps going in circles and people keep arguing about and that are literally headlines right now, like y'all don't know what you're talking about. You really don't. And I don't know. It's 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 unfortunate. Like literally on top of losing the person I valued most in my life, I have to sit back and for the rest of my life be known how do I explain this? Like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not a person to sit up here and cry. I'm not one to be here and get emotional. But, like, y'all could not just leave somebody passing away and leave the family alone. Like, oh my gosh, you guys just have to add to it. For what? Like, I don't know. And it's disappointing because, like, if all of you say that you held Steven in such a high regard, like, this is not the type of family dynamic we had. And whatever y'all want to push on social media, like, I'm going to grow up seeing it. Like, my siblings are going to grow up seeing it. And also, they're going to have to form their own opinion of who their dad was. And we only speak about him in such a beautiful light. I loved him. I have nothing negative to say about him besides I think that he made a unfortunate decision. And like it's unexplainable, like, but I wouldn't want to do that to my siblings. I wouldn't want to let people sit up here and talk about them or talk about their dad because bruh, I'm not about to sit here and cry, but don't even play. Because if I cry, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself. But here's the thing. My siblings, they're strong kids. And my mom's raising them to be so strong. Like, I'm already my own person, but I've been this way. They're growing up with one parent. And to see that one parent get torn down, it's crazy. I don't get it because my mom is all we have. We have other family, we have other people we can go to, but through this, my mom's been our rock. So just know that that's the type of person you're tearing down, who's been peaceful, who's kept things off of social media. And I don't know. I'm a very protective person at heart. Like the people I hold close to me, like you're close to me. My siblings, like, that's not a joke. And my brother's getting to the age where he's able to realize things. He's a smart kid. Like, he's going to end up making these choices for himself. And I just don't want, like, social media battles to infringe on how they see their dad or how they see their mom. Because, like, I get that I'm not being attacked at the situation, like I'm the kid, whatever, but like they need their mom and they already lost one parent. Like, they can't lose another one. And I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. Like, I'm not. But my mom's tried her best. And if y'all don't get that, that's on you. Because she's made all the efforts she could to make sure that Stephen was held in a high regard. And articles are coming out now. She has a book coming out, but that's not to ever bash who Stephen was. It's literally my mom telling her story, and it's her story is also still gonna continue. Like, nobody's gonna stop that, and it's for the sake of, like, also, here's the thing that you guys don't understand. For 2 years, Mama was getting bashed because she's not sitting up here and crying. Like, we don't think that she loves Stephen. She's evil. Like, that's the type of things that you guys are saying. And now that she's opening up more and still being very cautious of what she says and still very respectful and being the kind widow, like, she's trying her best. And, like, that's not a lot of things that other people would be able to do. Like, she lost her person. And it's just disappointing to see, like, people's reaction to her actually speaking out about her story, that it still holds Stephen in such a high regard, even though he's the person that left. Right? And I don't mean this to, like, to be, like, I don't know. But we have one parent. They have one parent. And I know that I have a biological dad, but once again, my relationship with Stephen is irreplaceable. And that's just how I see it. And I don't know. Because I've tried my best to delete comments and not respond, but it led me to be on a live, so. Ugh, guys. But I think that's it. I don't know how much more there is for me to say, because I'm not gonna sit here and go in circles about people that should honestly just be irrelevant in our lives. But I think the disrespect is getting to a point, and, you know, whoever wants to clip this and send it to them, you got it. You go, girl. I don't care. Everything that I've said here, obviously I'm saying it to the public, and that's it. Like, that's my thoughts on them. Like, his family, that's my thoughts on everything that's happening. That's my thoughts on the NDAs. And it's just what it is, because this is my reality, and y'all are seeing it on a screen. And that's unfortunate that you feel like you can put your input in. But to each their own. But I think that's it. How do I sit here and I don't really know how to turn this off? Let me see. Because, Simone, do you want to help me? How do I end this? I don't know. I'm just a girl. Hey, I'm still sick. Don't do too much. And my mom is so nice.
Well, that was her story time. I had a lot of comments in my head as she was speaking, but I'm going to let that be. To be fair to her, the child that she is has every right to speak out if her mother allows it, which she apparently has. But, you know, I want to share something that was shared on X. This is from, I couldn't find their actual account when I searched the name, but Manny_Cross. This person said, if you loved Twitch, screenshot this and post it on your page, your story, everywhere. This ends today. Dear Allison, you have lied for the last time on my brother. He was absolutely no addict. You will say and do anything for $1. An addict? You are the one that was messing with the coke, Molly, and X. I have all the proof. Play with somebody safe. Country boy right here. I don't give a F. Every person who knew him knows you're lying and have been doing dirty crap for a long time. Should I post our last conversation? Try me. You have no idea what I have to post. Here's a few questions I have for you, though. Why did you make his mom sign an NDA to see her son's body? Why did his closest friends and family have to sign an NDA to attend his funeral? Why did you lie at the funeral about how every day was magical? It wasn't. He told me everything. You had to try and demonize Nelson, and now I see why. You demonize anyone in his life that found out the truth about you. You will say his friends aren't his friends. You will discredit anyone that knows the truth. You are a toxic woman, and I truly believe he would still be alive had he not been married to you. My only regret is telling him to work on it with you for the sake of the kids when he talked to me about leaving you. I just didn't know the full truth. Just like everyone that supports you, we were both in the same situation, married to toxic narcissists that love Black men as a fetish, that will lie and cry wolf and twist narratives and so-called evidence to be a victim and make a dollar. We didn't have our dads the way we wanted, so we persevered through the bull crap to be the best fathers we could. Today is the last day you do this. I was contacted about a TV show last year, and after sending their condolences about me losing Stephen, guess what the producer said about you? The same thing all of them say about you. You're a money-hungry, lying narcissist that will play victim and say and do anything for a dollar. Wasn't it your gun that was used? Keep playing with my brother's name. This is the year of truth. Everything is offline. Nothing is off limits. AHD forever. Wow. A lot of things said, a lot of allegations. I also want to look up Nelson Diaz, who she said was a manager. This is from In Touch Weekly. Everyone who slammed Allison Holker's claims about Twitch drug use, family members, and more. Let's see. Family and friends of Stephen Twitch boss have slammed his widow, Allison Holker, for claiming she found a cornucopia of drugs that included mushrooms, pills, and other substances in his closet when looking for an outfit for his funeral. Allison made the drug use claims in a January 7, 2025 interview with People ahead of the release of her book, This Far, My Story of Love, Loss, and Embracing the Light. She mentioned Courtney, who she used to call an aunt, but she doesn't deal with her anymore because of her. I have this in a previous video. This is Emmanuel Hurd, choreographer and was a close friend of Twitch, who took to Instagram on January 7th to refute Allison's claims. He's the one that, he's the one who wrote the message I just posted. This is a Comfort, a friend who was on So You Think You Can Dance with him. Okay, I'm just trying to find this Nelson Diaz. Here we go. Nelson Diaz, Allison's former manager, was highly critical of her actions, calling her out directly in a January 7, 2025 Instagram story. For over a decade, I put up with so much disrespect and just plain evil stuff from you because of him. I would have dropped you as a manager. I hate that I built you up and fought extremely hard for you to get jobs. Even hiring you as a judge on a show on Bravo, I helped build. Should have let them fire you when you showed your true colors on set and held us up because you could barely speak. Nelson continued, don't act holier than thou with the demons and skeletons you have. Your house is made of glass. I don't know a thing. Others are coming for you now, not me. People know my addiction journey because it's a part of my testimony. If you are truly healed, then share yourself, your true self, and don't monetize Stephen. Yeah, Candace Dillard spoke out. His mother spoke out. So this is from In Touch Weekly. All of these responses, but I'm going to put the link to this article in the description in case you want to read it for yourself. So this video is way longer than I wanted it to be, but I wanted to let that young lady have her full say, because like I said, I jumped the gun kind of when I posted my previous video with just the clips from the blogs. So I want to know your thoughts, though. What are your thoughts on the fact that Allison is allowing her daughter to be her spokesperson? Her daughter is 16. Some of the things her daughter said were conflicting and untrue based on actual reports of certain things. I'm not going to go in and debunk every little thing, but I just want to say that that is what's to be expected from a child. But, you know, Twitch deserves to be able to rest in peace, regardless if you think he shouldn't because of the reports that he unalived himself. Personally, like I said, I don't believe that to be true. My heart does go out to his children. And, you know, it's sad that this was the way he decided, or that fate decided that he had to go out. Personally, I am also a widow. My husband left in a violent manner. He did not take himself out. Someone else did. But it leaves a hole in your heart. It leaves a void. And yeah, I can just truly say that this is not something people want to be judged on. But at the same time, you don't put yourself out there in a way to be judged if you don't want to be. This is the age of information and technology. The internet allows everyone to have a say, right? So, yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. And I want to know your thoughts in these comments, child. Like this video, please, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing over here, the Nosy Goddess. And you can also visit me at the $1 Trillion Goddess as well. I will leave that link also in the description. Till next time, and bye.